What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are talking about F1 2017, the new F1 game that is set to release later on this year. I just want to put out some ideas and talk about things that can be improved upon from F1 2016 and port some of those ideas and just improvements and possibly new features that could make F1 2017 the best online game that has ever been brought out by Codemasters. Bear in mind, some, if not all of these things, might not be in the game, but I just want to throw around some ideas and see what your responses are as well, and maybe by the time F1 2018 rolls around, we could have some of these ideas in the game. So let's start off. Yesterday I put out a tweet just asking you guys some improvements that you guys would want to see, because I wanted to get your community feedback in before I made this video, and I've collaborated with some of the ideas of my own that I've had in the back of my mind for the last few months, and I want to talk about those. So yeah, let's start off with the most heavily requested feature that you guys want to see back. It was from the old F1 games, 2010 through to 2013, and that is online rankings. A system where we can have a number or something like that where we earn experience, earn levels, and just display, you know, how good of a driver a particular person is, see how long they've been playing the game for. Because when you're setting up lobbies, when you're racing with people online, you want to see if you're racing against clean or people who have, you know, experience with the game. There's no fun with racing against people who are absolute crap, want to take you out and all that kind of thing. And yeah, I just find having an online ranking system motivates me to play the game more. So it would be an awesome thing to have in, possibly have in maybe a system where we can deter bad driving and potentially take away from penalties that you get, take away experience or something like that. Have your online rank go down, because I believe on 2012 you could have the maximum rank, but if you drove badly or got bad results, got penalties, corner cut, whatever, your online rank would start to suffer. So that's something that needs to be in the F1 games once again. Moving on and building upon that, I'd love to see like a really detailed leaderboard. So having a leaderboard for the entire platform, whether it be Xbox, whatever, for most wins, most races, most pole positions, most fastest laps, everything down to a T. Like as many stats as you can cram into the game. I'd love to see that happen, because that again would motivate myself and other players to get yourself further up the leaderboards and what have you. One thing we could do as well is possibly add a trophy room. So I've seen it in F1 2006 where you can, if you win a particular race, whether it be Hungary, you get a trophy, and your trophy room will now have a trophy for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So you're essentially like trying to get a collection of every single racetrack that you've won at, and the goal is to win at every track so that you can fill up your trophy room with first places, podiums, I don't know, just other maybe achievements as well to really add to that list. Continuing on with online, I'd love to see daily challenges introduced. So for example, earn double XP or extra experience for winning a race, or participating in 5 races, setting a fastest lap. Anything like that would be absolutely awesome. As well, we have this PS4 event system every week or every few weeks, and Codemasters give out, you know, some merchandise and a steelbook copy of the game to whoever wins that competition every week. So I'd love to see that expanded to Xbox and PC. I don't know why it's just on the one platform, but if we could expand it to especially Xbox, which has a, I don't know, much deeper community involvement, I feel like those events would be really welcomed in the community. There was only 1 or 2 events back in the day on F1 2012. Myself, Matty G, and Noble, we sweated out so hard around Brazil, this particular challenge, to win a Caterham turning vane. Yeah, that's how sweaty we got back in the day. So PS4 events, love to see them come back to other platforms as well, to really, I don't know, make the other sections of the community feel a little bit more welcome. Moving on from that, I'd love to see something like clubs that we have in Forza Horizon 2 and 3. Again, building upon the XP system where we earn XP for completing races, winning races, blah blah blah. You join a club, whether it be, let's say, the Lag Squad that I've created. We can have like 1,000 members or something like that. And our goal is to be top of the leaderboards and earn the most experience, and say, hey, I don't know, we're top of the leaderboard. It just gives people that extra motivation to keep playing the game, because that's what I feel like is really lacking in the F1 games of the last few years. Like, all you do is you just play online for the love of the game. If you have these external motivators, like daily challenges, rankings, leaderboards, clubs, all these different things, you'll keep people playing the game for a very long time to come. Moving on, I'd love to see spectator spots introduced into online lobbies. So, for league races, and most leagues, you'll have, like, commentators who want to come in, like a player, and spectate and commentate. But when they do that, they take up 1 or 2 places in the actual race. So it would be nice to have 1 or 2 spots, or maybe 3, reserved for people just who want to watch and commentate without having to sacrifice having a full field of 22. That would be nice. Moving on from that, I'd love to see some savable online replays, again for the league races, or just people who want to see some online races in general. They can upload it to their YouTube channel once they've saved it to their Xbox or their PS4. It would get a lot more people involved in the community as well. So, savable online replays, it's been heavily requested for the last few years. I still don't know why it's not in the F1 games yet. Now, the next topic of business is ghosting. A lot of people kind of on the fence with this one. A lot of people might be really for ghosting for the prevention of accidents and people just go kamikazing into corners, but by the same token, there's a few people who don't like ghosting either. It doesn't look nice, and sometimes you never know whether you're going to ghost through someone or not. I feel like, why don't we have the option to turn off ghosting and completely riddle or get rid of that down in your mind sometimes when you see a car that's stranded off to the side of the road. If you know in your mind it's never going to ghost, you're going to slow down, you're going to drive more realistically and try to avoid them. Whereas these days, how it is at the moment, I feel like if I just continue to drive on, if I see a stationary car and it's stuck on the racing line, I know if I just keep driving, I can just drive through it. And it looks stupid. It really does. To people who are unfamiliar to F1 games, I see it a lot on some of my more popular videos online. And yeah, a lot of people just think it looks weird. I feel it looks weird as well, and I feel like it can really add to the challenge if you turn off ghosting, if that's what you prefer when you're the host leader. So you can just turn it off. Moving on from that, red flags. It's been absent from F1 2015, made no appearance in 2016, so I'd love to see it return for F1 2017, but also return, or just have it for the first time in online. You can have safety cars in online, you can have virtual safety cars, but I'd love to see red flags, and to stop the race, and to add further to the red flags that we had in previous games, allow us to change our tyres, strategy, and even the setup as well, because after the race starts, Parc Ferme, it's a free roam for everyone, so everyone can change their setup and potentially change how the outcome of the race could be. Red flags, they don't happen all too often, and I feel like they shouldn't happen all too often in F1 games either, but when they do happen, it should be pretty dramatic and have a dramatic effect on the race like it normally does in real life races. Moving on from that, this one, I don't ever think it'll be a feature in F1 games, not anytime soon, unless F1 really loosen their stranglehold on their license, but I would love to see a safety car mode implemented into the F1 game. So, a feature where, something like that, a game mode where you could come in and race as the safety car, but not only have yourself race as the safety car, have a full field of safety cars and have a safety car race. I believe there's a MotoGP game or a Valentino Rossi game where you can drive a safety car. I'd love to see that option be a thing in the F1 game, but I know that the chances of that happening are very, very slim. The next thing on my list of what I'd love to see in F1 2017 is a no car setups option. So this feature as well was pretty heavily requested on Facebook and on the Twitter responses that I got. Having the option to restrict a no setup option so that everyone has equal machinery, no one can tamper with the setup, so it's ultimately down to the driver's ability to get the most out of the car, be as fast as you can, and win races in that way. At the moment, everyone has the option to choose their own setup, and sometimes you never really know if you are genuinely a faster driver than someone who might potentially have a better setup than you, but I feel like in almost all cases, the good drivers normally do come to the forefront. But just to erase any kind of doubt in people's minds, I feel like it would be nice to have a no setups option, especially for people who aren't too tech savvy or just don't delve into the deeper aspects of the game. Moving on, also in the online spectrum of things, it would be nice to display a player's ping level in the lobby, kind of where their name is or where the flag is, maybe just under that, just so that you know, or have some kind of warning as to who the really laggy drivers are going to be, so you can kind of steer clear from them and make sure you give them a wide berth when you try and overtake them or potentially race with those guys, because there's nothing more frustrating than coming up against a guy who has got absolutely terrible ping and they can't even stay on the track. They're lagging all about. So if you know who they are, you can potentially maybe, and I know this is harsh, but maybe kick them from the lobby, or just make sure at least you know who the really laggy drivers are going to be before you step into a race with them. So moving on, I'd love to see group restarts happen as a thing in online lobbies. This would particularly be really useful when setting up a league or setting up a community race, for example. So if someone drops out, or if you suddenly need to restart or end the session very quickly, have the option in the pause menu to vote to restart the session or vote to end the session, something like that, so that you can get the whole process over and done with really quickly and restart the lobby or restart the race or something like that. That would be really handy. I need to slow down. In these rambly type of videos, I always get too excited and talk really fast, so I'm going to slow the pace down. We're on the home stretch. I've only got a couple more points to talk about now. Moving on, this one really frustrates me personally when trying to set up an open lobby, and I feel like this might be an Xbox only issue. I would love a better way to invite friends and recent players into a game, because at the moment it is really hard to set up a lobby and invite people who you're not friends with to race with you. So you have to like pretty much invite them to a party, and then from there you have to invite the party to the game, and it just takes so long to set that up. So if it would be possible, maybe get Codemasters to talk to Microsoft or Xbox to make that system work a little bit better. But I feel like a quicker workaround might be to just send invites to friends and recent players in game and make it work a little bit better, because at the moment it's really tough to get people in very quickly, and it's hampered by the fact that there's no custom search option or custom list for the open lobbies in Xbox. That you have to resort to the hoppers, and no one's really in the custom sessions all too much. So it's fine for PC, it's fine for PS4. You can see all the lobbies that are currently open and what track it is and how many people are in there, but you don't have that for Xbox. You're completely blind and you have to search for people, and everyone is searching for a lobby and no one really gets going, and the lobbies are just so dead on Xbox. So unfortunately it's not a Codemasters issue, it's an Xbox issue, and the way that Microsoft set up their software and matchmaking, you have to use hoppers, unfortunately. So hopefully that can be fixed for Xbox side of things, but at the moment, yeah, just inviting people is so hard, and it takes such a long time to get a lobby going. It can be quite frustrating. So yeah, that would really help out online quite a bit. Moving on from that, I'd love to see co-op career mode come back as a feature in the online spectrum of the F1 games. But to further add to that, it would be absolutely awesome if we could get the career mode experience that we get from single player and port that to online to the co-op career mode. So basically have a full-on career mode, but make it online and play with your friend or friends if that is possible. And yeah, just have the research and development aspect of that, have the rivalry system, have the full-blown career mode, but make it online. That is a huge ask, and there is so many issues that could arise from something like that. A lot of time commitments to set up two people to do an online career mode together, but surely there are some people who play the F1 games that much that they would really appreciate something like that. I just thought that would be worth throwing out there, but at the very least it would be nice to see co-op come back in some degree. But that is pretty much it in terms of my suggestions and everything I have to add. One last thing I do have to say is it would be awesome if we could race some of the Formula 1 tracks in the reverse direction, have a playlist online. I don't know if this really impedes on the license or not, but racing in the reverse direction almost feels like you're racing on an entirely new track, and it feels like you have, instead of having 20 tracks to race on, it feels like you have 40. By introducing the reverse direction, everyone is going to be a cluster of drivers making mistakes and seeing who can adapt to the new track, essentially, the fastest, and it would be a whole lot of fun. I feel like it would be, and I would definitely implement it in some online races that I do, really just for a laugh and just to see who would adapt to a brand new track, essentially the fastest. But that has been this video for today, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Very rambly, I know, so I'm sorry if I waffled on too much on some topics, but I'm very passionate about the F1 games, and I just want to see them be the absolute best they can be. So if you have any suggestions yourself, put them down in the comments. Thumbs up any other people's comments that you agree with. And I know for sure Codemasters will look at this video. And hopefully in the future, maybe one or some of these things can be in future F1 games. And that would be a massive success. So thank you guys so much for watching. One last thing. I left out some really obvious things like making the netcode better and making sure that the online experience is much more stable. That's obvious. Codemasters want to make sure it's the most stable and make sure that everything is as good as it can be, so I left those kind of things out. And having dedicated servers, which are really, really expensive, but I think we know that dedicated servers for a very small player base isn't really feasible from a business standpoint. But that has been this video. If there are a lot of suggestions that I have missed, I might make a follow-up video and talk about that in the not too distant future. But that's been this video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Smash a like button. That'll really, reinforce that this is the kind of video that you guys want to see in the future. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 videos. And until the next one, guys, my voice is so dead. I'll see you next time.